Welcome to the AfterNews. Here's the front page. The surprise October surprise this election is Hurricane Sandy, which has given Obama the chance to look especially presidential as he sends emergency aid to New York and New Jersey, huge parts of which were flooded with seawater. Though I don't think this should really hurt Mitt Romney, because it's not as though he ever insulted victims of flooding or...
President Obama promised to begin to slow the rise of the oceans.
Well, it's not like this event has swayed any Republicans to Obama's side, or...
New York Mayor Michael Bloomberg has just endorsed Obama.
He deserves and has earned my praise, and he'll get it.
Well, it doesn't matter. If Mitt Romney were president, I'm sure FEMA would have been just as prepared to...
FEMA's about to run out of money.
Every time you have an occasion to take something from the federal government, send it back to the states. That's the right direction. And if you can go even further and send it back to the private sector, it's even better.
Well, at least no one is trying to politicize the disaster relief for some twisted partisan...
Is it a hurricane benefit or a concert for Obama? Is this more political? Is this more, let's get this thing on TV before the election to make President Obama look presidential?
Well, as long as no one is desperate enough to actually accuse Barack Obama of having something to do with...
So the question is this a geoengineering October surprise? Weather modification is a known fact.
You know what? To be fair, that's Infowars.com. I don't think anyone considers them a right-wing organization. Ooh. So, is it insane to think the government can cause natural disasters? With more on this is Lori Pasqualino.
Thank you, Brick. When fringe conspiracy theorists say Obama caused the hurricane, they're actually referring to HAARP, a government program to analyze the ionosphere that some former professional wrestlers have accused of actually causing all the major earthquakes and hurricanes of the last decade.
And is there any evidence of this?
Absolutely. HAARP has existed since 1990, and since then, a disproportionate number of professional wrestlers have died mysteriously.
Why would HAARP want to kill wrestlers?
So it looks like an accident when they get Jesse Ventura.
I thought they were dying because they do steroids and get beaten up by people on steroids.
So did I, but we have uncovered a never-released audio clip from Randy Macho Man Savage recorded mere days before his death last year.
Barack Obama's planning on causing a natural disaster just before the election. Oh, yeah.
Thanks, Lori. And I understand you also have some tips for voters.
Yes, thank you, Brick. Before we start, you're going to want to grab all the tools you need. A black pen, a red crayon, and a stopwatch because you will be timed. Now, here's a California state ballot, empty and ready to be filled out. Here you see that each office up for re-election is separated by category and that each candidate or team running has an empty oval next to it. Do not fill in these ovals. They're for official use only. Instead, what you're going to want to do is grab your black pen and draw large, distinctive X's through the names of the people that you don't want to win. This will send a clear message that you are not voting for those people. Now, you'll notice that there are categories for jobs that maybe just seem made up to you, like senator in general court. Well, good for you. That's because they are made-up decoys to weed out the unintelligent 47% of voters. Their vote will only count for 3/5 of a person, okay? So to avoid this, simply take your red crayon and in big letters scribble no next to this category to show that you're in on the game.
Thanks, Lori. Going into Election Day, Obama's biggest problem is still the Benghazi attack. The White House says that fog of war and bad intelligence led them to believe that it was related to the world's shittiest YouTube video, but Republicans say that Obama's lying, that he knew it was terrorism from the start, but misled Americans for 2 weeks. And worst of all, they have proof. And the whistleblower is Barack Obama, who, in a 60 Minutes interview the day after the attack, said,
My suspicion is that there are folks involved in this who were looking to target Americans from the start.
So there it is. We know that Barack Obama secretly suspected it was terrorism because he told the most popular news show in America the very next day that he suspected it was terrorism. And I just had a stroke. So why are conservatives trying to turn a genuine fuck-up into a full-blown wild conspiracy? You know, shouldn't the fuck-up be enough? I mean, when Bill Clinton was caught with a mistress, no one demanded proof she didn't have a penis. Even John McCain is saying this.
This is as bad as Watergate. Well, nobody died in Watergate.
To which convicted Watergate burglar G. Gordon Liddy replied,
Yeah, no one died in Watergate. Certainly not some elderly security guard we made look like a heart attack. If that's what you're implying. It's not? Please don't print that.
That's it for the After News. Make sure you vote. I'm gonna go put on pants.